All right, in the other video, we showed Don and Mike and how the allocation of depreciation expenses more closely matches the use of a long-term asset with the revenues that it generated. So from the matching principle and accrual accounting, it makes more sense. However, we in the example we're using, which I'm showing here, we're using straight line depreciation. All right, and straight line depreciation is popular. With straight line depreciation, you basically take the cost of an asset, in this case it's $2,500, subtract expected salvage value. All right, and how do you know that? Well, you don't know, but you make a good educated guess. And then that would be the depreciable base. Okay, so for the total depreciation cost, call it expense over the period. So you're going to depreciate a grand total of $2,000. The life of the asset is 4 years. So basically what you're going to do is take 1/4 of $2,000 each year, and that's what we did over here. There are other methods of depreciation, though, and I'm going to demonstrate one of them right now. It's called double declining balance. There are a lot of accelerated depreciation methods out there. Double declining balance is one where you depreciate at a faster rate, so you eat up the expenses sooner. It also might make economic sense. You know, you drive the lawnmower off the lot, it's probably going to lose more of its value the first year or two that you use it. So if it more closely matches the actual economic use of the lawnmower, using an accelerated depreciation method might better match the revenues and the expenses of using up the lawnmower. Now, how double declining balance works, if we begin with the beginning value, we're going to call that the beginning book value because the book value is the depreciated value of the asset. The book value is the asset value after we've subtracted all the depreciation expenses. All right, so that's year 1, 2, 3, and 4. We would start with a value of $2,500 at the beginning of the year. That's when we buy the lawnmower. And then the depreciation expense using the double declining balance method. How the double declining balance method works is you take the useful life and take its reciprocal. That's 1 over the useful life. So 1/4, and then multiply that by 2. And why do they do it like this? Well, it's magic. By the way, the computer will do it. I'm also going to show you that. And what that means, you take 50% of whatever's left over as depreciation expense, and you do that each year until you use up all the depreciation. All right, so we would use 50% up here times whatever's left. All right, 50% times whatever's left of the book value. And again, the first year, you're starting with the entire cost. So at the end of the year, the book value would only be the beginning cost minus the depreciation expenses. Okay, so in year 2, you would start off with a book value of 12,500, multiply that by 0.5, because that's the factor. All right, so the double declining balance factor or percent. And then in theory, we would do that each of the years, okay? Except the problem with this is that we've taken too much depreciation. So the total depreciation expense, if I did it like that, would be 2,344. Well, you got to stop when you hit 2,000. So make that year 0, and now it's 2,188. And that means that I can't take the cumulative depreciation to this point is 2188. So all I really want to take is 125 in this third year. That'll take the book value down to $500. That's the salvage value I expect to recover. Okay, that looks complicated. The beauty of doing Excel for this is they have a function. It's called the DDB function, all right, double declining balance. So if we go in here and look for the double declining balance, the DDB function, the cost was 2,500, salvage is 500, the life is 4 years, and if we look at period 1, it's 1,250, okay? If I go to period 2, 625, I go to period 3, it's 125, and you go to period 4, it's 0. All right, so Excel will do this for you, and actually there's some shortcuts to speed that up with cell references. But if Mike were to use the double declining balance, then instead of taking $500 a year as depreciation, he would depreciate it faster. That would lower his profits in these earlier years and make the profits look higher in the later years, okay? You pay income taxes on profit, so the net effect here is taxes are at 25%, then his income tax expense would actually be lower in the early years and higher in the later years, okay, as opposed to doing $500 a year, right, where it smooths things out. All right, so that's one of the methods. There's another called sum of the year's digits. Sum of the year's digits is just another way of doing complicated accelerated depreciation. Depreciation expense at sum of the year's digits. Okay, so equals SYD. The cost is 2,500. The salvage value is 500. The life is 4 years, and we're looking at period 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, how the sum of the year's digits works, you add up all the year's digits. Okay, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. And then in reverse order, this would be 4/10. This would be 3/10 because there's 3 years left. This because there's 2 years left. This because there's 1 year left. You would actually just assign the depreciation that way. Now you can memorize all these formulas, or you can remember that they're in Excel, and that's why Excel. God so loved the world that He gave us Excel so that we don't have to remember all these complicated formulas.